Okay, so today I'm going to go over the scapula, origins, and insertions. I'm going to start with the origins first. We have the infraspinatus, the supraspinatus, we have the deltoid, we have our teres minor and our teres major, we have our long head of the triceps, long head of the biceps, we have the coracobrachialis, as well as the short head of the biceps, and we have the inferior belly of the omohyoid and the subscapularis. Now I'm going to go over the insertions. We have our levator scapulae over here. Then we have our rhomboid minor and our rhomboid major. We have our trapezius. We have our pectoralis minor, and we have our serratus anterior. Okay, so today I'm going to be going over the clavicle. I'm going to do the origins first. So we have our pectoralis major, we have our deltoid, we have our sternohyoid, and we have our subclavius. And then the only insertion is our trapezius. Okay, so I'm going to be showing the origins and insertions of the humerus. I'm going to start with the origins. So we have our lateral head of our triceps, we have the medial head of our triceps, we have our brachialis, we have our brachioradialis, we have our extensor carpi radialis longus. Then we have our common flexor origin, we have our common extensor origin, we have our anconius, and we have our pronator teres. Now I'm going to go to insertions. We have our subscapularis, we have our supraspinatus, our infraspinatus, and our teres minor. We have our deltoid, we have our pectoralis major, we have our latissimus dorsi, and our teres major, and then we have the coracobrachialis. Okay, so this is the ulna. We're going to be doing the origins and insertions. I'm going to start with the origins. So we have our supinator, we have our pronator teres, and we have our flexor digitorum superficialis. We have the flexor digitorum profundus, and then we have our pronator quadratus. On this side, we have our abductor pollicus longus, the extensor pollicus longus, and the extensor indicus. And then for our insertions, we have the anconius, the triceps, and the brachialis. And then for ligaments, we have our interosseous border and our ulnar collateral ligament. This is the radius, and I'm going to do the origins and insertions. I'm going to start with the origins. So we have the flexor pollicus longus, then we have the abductor pollicus longus, and then we have the extensor pollicus brevis. For our insertions, we have the supinator, the biceps, the pronator teres, the pronator quadratus, and then the brachioradialis. Okay, so this is the scapula, and I'm going to do the ligaments. We have the superior transverse scapular ligament, we have the coracohumeral ligament, and then in between here we have the coracoacromial ligament. This is the clavicle, and I'm going to go over the ligaments. So we have the costoclavicular ligament, we have the conoid ligament, and then we have the trapezoid ligament. This is the radius, and I'm going to be doing the ligaments. So we have the attachment for the articular disc, we have the groove for the extensor digitorum and the extensor indicus, we have the groove for the extensor pollicus longus, we have the groove for the extensor carpi radialis brevis, the groove for the extensor carpi radialis longus, we have the groove for the abductor pollicus longus and the extensor pollicus brevis, and then we have the radial collateral ligament.